Well, I think I got it figured out here. Apparently, we are stuck smack dab in the middle of what is sometimes referred to as frog and pot of boiling water syndrome. We've just gotten used to all this stuff. If you made a docudrama of the U.S. today, went back in a time machine, and showed it to audiences in the 1950s and 60s, they wouldn't believe it. They'd think it was a Woody Allen science fiction parody. Imagine a shy little girl, fourth grade, doesn't feel safe in her own school anymore because every time she turns around, an older boy is following her into the girls' bathroom, and she complains about it. And the principal says, well, it's the new normal. Really? New normal. You accidentally offend a sensitive snowflake at work because you inadvertently use the wrong cisgender, non-binary, LGBTQ plus preferred pronoun, and if you work for one of those woke CEO types, your days are numbered. You think you have a mother. Not anymore. Jur is a birthing person. A grown man with his original intact one-eyed trouser snake tallywhacker is allowed to compete on the UPenn women's swim team, and a year later he's nominated for Athlete of the Year. BLM Antifa thugs riot, burn down entire city blocks, loot everything in sight, kill a couple of people along the way, and CNN refers to them as mostly peaceful protesters. Absolute insanity on the border. It's a national disaster of their own making. Police defunded, crime up, inflation up, gas up, stock market up, oops, down. Deep state, FBI agents, corrupt to the very core, cover up and bury incriminating evidence that could have had a major impact on the last election. Try to think Tony Bobulinski and New York Post. As a relevant side note, there are still thousands of hours of security videos, tapes from January 6th, that have not been released and probably never will be because they don't fit the narrative. It's not rocket science. If January 6th was an insurrection, it was the most poorly planned, inept, incompetent insurrection in the history of insurrections. Neighborhood thugs walk out of department stores, armloads full of stolen property and merchandise, and nobody does anything, not even the cops. They can't, it's useless. A Supreme Court nominee before Congress testifies that she can't determine what a woman is because she doesn't have a degree in biology. Drag queens, everywhere, coming out of the woodwork because libraries have invited them to make up classes so they can teach little preschool children, 3 and 4, 5-year-olds, about how much fun it is to be a drag queen. What in the world is the point of all of that? When I was that age, I didn't need anyone to help me with my imagination because I knew exactly what I did want to be. Peter Pan. And I knew what I didn't want to be. Tinkerbell. I'm so grateful I was allowed to grow up in a normal, safe environment without having to worry about some slimy creep cram his sick, perverted fantasies down my throat. We need to wake up and get a clue, people. We really do. What is going on in this country is nothing short of abject, absolute insanity on steroids. You can't even make half of it up, except for the frog people. And I don't even know if I trust the frog people as far as I can pick them up and throw them across Davis Bayou. I have tried to avoid using any incendiary trigger words, but I really need to be direct here and lay it on the line for you. If you get your news and information from MSNBC, CNN, the evening news programs, you don't have a clue what's really going on in this country. You don't. I don't think I've ever in my life, or I can't recall, so many American voters being dumbed down to such an incredibly low level of intense, stupid thinking. Do you remember Martha's Vineyard? There's a reason they really felt like they had to do it like that. Well, I guess that's about it. Now you know. Welcome to the new normal.